Chapter 7. Leaving Denmark.
Beowulf, my dear son, you're back.
Hrothgar opened his arms wide. All the Danes banged their tables and shouted and cheered.
King Hrothgar, this is the prize we have brought you,
said Beowulf, pointing at the grotesque head.
More valuable than any treasure. The fight with his mother was as hard as the fight with Grendel. Hrunting couldn't harm her, but in her lair there was another sword. I killed her with it, and then I cut Grendel's head off with it. The blade melted. I saved the hilt for you. From now on, you will be able to sleep safely in Heorot Hall, forever.
Hrothgar gazed at the hilt that Beowulf had put on the table. It was covered with jewels and engravings, and very heavy.
This was made in the old times,
he said.
Years and years ago. What skillful work. These engravings are runes. They tell the story of how war first came into the world, and how the powerful giants became too proud and were all drowned in a flood.
Hrothgar's fingers were stroking the hilt. His gaze was far away, and his voice grew softer.
So powerful, but so proud. All dead hundreds of years ago. A man becomes powerful, but he forgets that he has to die one day. Everyone obeys him, everyone praises him, and he becomes proud. But happiness does not last forever. One day a killer comes after him, and the proud man gets an arrow through the heart. Or maybe a demon comes, as happened to me, after I had ruled for 50 years. If I had been less proud, perhaps my life would have been different.
Hrothgar's voice suddenly changed.
But then you came to save me, Beowulf. Beware of pride, but tonight, let's feast!
The feast lasted late into the night, but the Geats were ready early the next morning, eager to return home. Beowulf looked for Unferth. He had something to say to him.
I thank you, Unferth. Hrunting helped me. You helped me.
Then Beowulf stood in front of Hrothgar. Both men promised that the Danes and the Geats would be friends forever. Beowulf swore that he would return if Hrothgar needed him. Hrothgar gave him more treasure and embraced him as they said goodbye. There were tears in his eyes. He knew he was old and that he would never see Beowulf again on Middle-earth. The sky was clear and the wind was strong, and the Geats' boat sailed smoothly home. The hall of King Hygelac was near the coast, and they were soon there. They were expected.
Welcome, Beowulf. The coast watchman brought us news of your arrival,
said Hygelac.
Welcome, Beowulf. Welcome, all you Geat warriors,
said Queen Hede.
Please sit and drink.
Queen Hede went from warrior to warrior, filling their cups with mead, smiling and greeting each one by name. But she noticed that one was missing, and gave a worried look to Hygelac. Hygelac noticed his wife's concern.
Now you have rested, Beowulf. Tell us everything that happened since you left. We heard nothing. There have been times when we feared the worst.
My king and queen, I thought that news of our adventures would have reached you in some way. But now I'll give you a full account of what happened to us,
began Beowulf.
Grendel is dead. I killed him with my bare hands. But there is much more to tell you.
Beowulf told the whole story, including the death of the Geat warrior at the hands of Grendel. When he finished speaking, servants had arrived with all the treasure that he had been given.
These treasures that Hrothgar the ring-giver generously gave to me, I now want to give to you, King Hygelac,
said Beowulf, pointing to the banner, helmet, sword, chainmail armour, and 4 of the horses. He then gave to Queen Hede the magnificent talk given to him by Wealhtheow, 3 horses and Hrothgar's jewelled saddle. In return, Higelac gave Beowulf a magnificent sword and land together with a hall, so that Beowulf became a lord of King Higelac's kingdom. That night was a night of celebration. Beowulf didn't think at all about Hrothgar's words, but happiness does not last forever.